A new game mode is coming with Year 7 Season 2, and the big question is, will this be the new survival or is it dead on arrival? Before I answer that, here's a very quick recap of how the new game mode Retaliation will work. The game mode splits into two parts. In the first, completing open world activities fills up a bar for each of the base factions. Here's a great chart that Virtual ZZ created that shows how much activity fills up the bar based on the results of the PTS. So looking at this, just 2 runs of heroic D.O.A, which will take maybe 20 to 30 minutes, will completely fill the hyena bar. Not bad. Once a faction's bar is filled, you have 6 hours to start the second part before it resets. In this, you need to capture control points in one of the existing zones of the map, albeit in a brand new instance. The kicker is that you're up against the clock and you only have 7 to 8 minutes to complete this, and fast travelling is turned off. Killing enemies, completing activities or maneuvers, and capturing control points adds additional time, but you lose time if you die. The enemies are also different as you face waves of them. Control points can be made up of only one enemy type, like tanks, and kill squads of named enemies can spawn to add to the challenge. Once completed, the bar for that faction resets to 0 and you're awarded with a blueprint for an exotic in the general loot pool. To craft these though, you need to farm for materials that can only be obtained within the game mode. While the game mode is tied to the seasonal multipliers for Year 7 Season 2, it will remain in the game after that. So what do I think of Retaliation? Well, it's definitely a clever use of existing assets in the game, something that the small development team working on the Division 2 can handle. They've clearly looked at what resources they had available and have come up with the best game mode that they think that they can deliver. But that's the problem. One of the first things successful YouTubers learn is that you don't create content that you want to create. You create the content that your audience wants to watch. I don't understand who would want to play this game mode more than a couple of times just to try it. From a veteran player's point of view, the rewards are fucking useless. They have every exotic in the general loot pool already, so they don't need those blueprints. Look, if you want to farm exotics for exotic components, run Countdown and buy exotic cash or priority objectives. It is still going to be a way more efficient way of doing it than farming for materials to then craft them. On top of that, this content isn't challenging. When players can now solo legendary content with ease due to the power creep in the game, heroic content like this is a bit of a joke. And even with the minor changes to enemies, it's still just a rehash of content that veterans have done thousands of times before. So I just can't see this content appealing to veteran players other than for the novelty of the first couple of runs. For new players, this game mode might be more appealing though. If you don't have all the exotics in the loot pool, if you don't have an overpowered build or any expertise, and you haven't completed control points many times, I can see this being fun for a little while, albeit you could probably get all of the exotics in the general loot pool just by running Countdown and priority objectives pretty quickly. My prediction is that no one will be playing this game mode a few weeks after it goes live. Well, except that some of the Season 2 modifiers are fucking tied to it. So not only is this a game mode players didn't ask for, it's a game mode that they're going to have to play to get the most out of Season 2. And that really sucks.